So Google Ads, I want to just take you through the basic process for setting up a Google ad. And this is very similar in some ways to Facebook, except Google is doing some of the work for you. So Google Ads, as it's called now, used to be called AdWords. Okay, this is Google's primary source of income. Okay, something like over 80% of Google's income comes from Google advertising. Okay, this is their core income. And Google, I mean, they made something like 94 billion in advertising revenue last year. Google Ads, advertisers pay to display brief advertisements and service offerings. So all Google ads are about initially is getting somebody to click. So let me go here and let me show you. And I mean, we see this all the time. Okay. So I'm going to open up a new window. And I'm going to go to Google. All right. And I'm going to go into Google Common Search, right? So I'm going to say, what am I going to look for? I'm going to look for, it's coming up to Christmas here. I'm going to look to buy my wife a wireless speaker. Okay. I'm just going to put that into Google search. Now, what Google search is going to do is going to come back with show me some wireless speakers. Then it's got a few ads, and you can tell that they're ads because it says ad. Amazon are in there. Wireless speakers directly from the manufacturer is Tufel Audio. Then I've got Bluetooth speakers. And so now there's two ads. All there's is two ads there. Okay? Two ads. And then there's Bluetooth speakers in Ireland, Curry's, so Harvey Norman, Curry's, DID, etc. These are all providers of it. But this is organic. These ones here, the first two I see are ads. So Amazon and Tufel have paid to be at the top of my page, basically. Now, I'm going to put in Dublin because I'm looking in Dublin and see, well, what does that do? Well, now the images are slightly different. Show me a map. On the map, it show me where some of these places are. And then Bluetooth speakers in Harvey Norman, multi-room DID is there. So these things here are effectively ads. They're popping up because people are paid to go through Google Maps. So I'm going to put in sale into my criteria and see what happens again. An ad for motivational speakers agent, wireless speakers Dublin sale. So for some reason I'm getting, this is not a good ad, right? Sales and marketing speakers. This is people who come along and talk about sales and marketing. This is what I'm looking for, and I'm getting an ad on sales and marketing speakers. So that's interesting. That's not a great ad placement. So this motivational speakers agency is hoping I'm going to click on this to get some information about motivational speakers. If I do click on it, they pay for the ad. But it's being presented because Google is suggesting to me that this is what I'm looking for based on wireless speakers Dublin sale. Okay, so let me go back to the slides. So with Google Ads, advertisers pay to display these brief advertisements on their search engine. So it's not Facebook appearing in somebody's feed. That's on Facebook or Instagram. This is advertising when people go looking for something. So they go and they put into Google or Bing, if it's Bing ads, and a Bing search engine, and Google makes its revenue from suggesting these alternatives as ads in a response to a search query. So we know already that the individual is looking for something. So the advertisers are paying to be there so that they might be considered. Okay. Now it's based on cookies and keywords, etc. And we're going to talk about keywords. Google uses these characteristics to place advertising on pages where they think it might be relevant. So if I look for, golf clubs in Malaysia, then I'll get different ads, obviously, than if I'm looking for wireless speakers in Dublin. Okay, and ultimately the advertisers pay when users divert and click on the advertising. Okay, if they don't click, the advertiser doesn't pay for it. So it's a bit like the Facebook stuff again. It's about getting it out there, and it comes down to pay per click, paying for the engagement that the advertiser is looking for. All right, which brings on to pay per click, and I'm going to build an ad. So I go to Google Ads. Okay, and just to show you Google Ads. Okay, so here I am. I want to grow my business with Google Ads. All right, and that's going to bring me into this application where, remember, Google is trying to facilitate my process here. Let's say my aim is to get more website sales or signups. So I click on next. All right. What business are you advertising? I'm going to advertise Alchemy, which is the business name. So go with that. Where are my customers? So now I get to start focusing in. So I'm going to say, you know what? I want my customers in this. This is where I live under this M50 here. This is where I live. I want customers in this space here. I don't want Kildare, so I'm going to take Kildare off. Okay, I'm going to leave it these two counties here, Dublin and Wicklow. So my potential audience size at the moment is 4 million people per month. Now that's not relevant because, first of all, there's only 1.1 million people live between these two spaces. But this is who will be looking at Google in relation to Dublin potentially, right? So it's an estimate of how many people search in Google in my locations, all right? So it's 4 million searches, okay? So let's say I'll go with that, all right? Or I could look, I could set up a radius. I could go and set up a radius for my business, which is 25. No, I'm not going to do that. That's too, because it takes in the sea. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to be a bit more focused. I'm going to focus in on these two regions here. Then I'm going to go in and say, target my ads to relevant Google searches. Well, let's say I want to sell a leadership development program, a training product, right? So I'm going to call it leadership program. And it suggests, let me get rid of some of these. So add a product or service. So let's say I'm going to put in leadership development. Okay. So I'm going to put here, right? It's going to suggest some other things that go with that. So leadership program, fair enough. Leadership skills, yeah, I like that. Leadership management, yeah. Management development, yeah. Executive leadership development program, okay. Leadership coaching, okay. And team leadership. I like the word. I like to use teams, okay. So, all of these things are going in there, and these are effectively keywords, right? They will show my ad when people search for products and services that I offer are relevant, are similar relevant phrases. So if somebody goes looking for these phrases, I have a chance of being selected. Potential audience size, 3,500 people per month. Now, here's where I get to put in what I might see. So remember, over here on this ad here, motivational sales and marketing speakers leading UK industry. Here's the URL, and here's some information. So here I get to put in 3 headlines. Learning to lead, there it is. Develop leadership potential, build your team. Okay, and I've got 30 characters for the first section, 30 for the second, 30 for the third. So, and at most I've got 90 characters across here, but I'm able to say 3 key messages, and that other one it's only 2. They've only chosen to use 2, and then I get to put in my description: practical leadership development for frontline supervisors and junior managers. Okay, and a second line there around learning and application of practical leadership skills. Okay, so that's my ad. Okay. I put in my website there so that when people click on it, this is where they're going to go. Now, and I could direct them to a page on that website, but that's just the home page there for the moment. And then I get to set my budget. So here I get to limit how much I'm going to spend. So I could spend €12 a day, which is average, but I'm going to go with €10 a day. And at €10 a day, what the reach is 7 to 12,800 people. right? That it will on their page, like I just shown you over the wireless speakers piece, and I'll get 180 to 320 ad clicks per month with that. So now I'm, as the advertiser, I'm not going to pay. I'll only pay for people click on the ad and go to my website. Okay. So if I spend €10 a day on this for a month, it's going to cost me €304 if I let it run for the whole month. And then I'm going to get 180 to 320 ad clicks. So, which is about up to 1 click per euro, basically. My daily average, some days I might spend more or less, and that's fair enough. Or I can go to this one, €16 a day, right? It's dearer, but I'll get 290 to 500 ad clicks, okay? Again, it's what do I want? I'm looking to build my base, right? If I really want to put it, I can go to 34, or you know what? I can go and I can put any amount into this. I could increase it to, I can edit, I can go and say, look, I'm going to make a big splash. I'm going to put 34. I'm going to go to €60 a day, okay? So let's see if I set the budget at €60. The reach is much broader, and I could get up to 1,100 to 1,800 ad clicks. That's no good to me unless I've got something coming out the other end. So when they click on the page, that I've got an action that will entice them. So it's back to what I do on my page, but Google's not responsible for that. They're only responsible for getting the clicks to my page. Okay. And once I do that, then there's a summary of my campaign. But that's how we build a Google ad. Similar thinking, if you like, to Facebook, only in this case, the ad is going on a Google search page. So we've got Google Ads and we've got Facebook. And going back to your business ideas, all you're doing is you're starting to figure out how these things work so that if and when you want to get going, you've got this ability to start generating some throughput. Now, if you combine that thinking with the ad, with what we did on the data analysis, you're then going to start being able to pull together, well, here's what doing this might yield in terms of engagement. Here's what this sort of engagement might yield in terms of activity, in terms of revenue, etc. Here's what we learn from revenue. So once you're starting to get into that phase of creating and focusing and analyzing and making decisions, now you're starting to build some of the key digital skills to help drive and promote your business, whether it's a digital business or it's a traditional business using digital tools. This is about how you start to get sort of market focused and continue engaging and speak the language of market.